Now how to calculate more than 150%, like 200%, 300%, 400%, like that. Already I told 100% of x is nothing but x. If I say 200% of x, 200% of x is nothing but you can write 2x. 300% of a number means you can write 3x. 400% of a number means we can write 4x. Similarly, 500% of x is nothing but we can write 5x. Okay now friends, for example, 200% of 70. What is the 200% of 70 means? We have to multiply 2 times of 70. 2 times of 70 is equal to how much? 140. Similarly, 300% of 150. What is the 300% of 150 means? We have to multiply 3 times of 150. 3 times of 150 is equal to how much will become? 450. Similarly, 400% of 112. So 400% of 12 is nothing but 4 times of 12. 4 times 12 is equal to 48. Similarly, 500% of 0.6. So we have to multiply it by 3 times, 5 times. So 5 times of 0.6 is equal to how much will become? 3. Okay friends, for example, if I want to calculate 150%, I already told 150% is nothing but 100% plus 50%. Similarly, if I want to calculate 250% means 200% plus 50%. Already you know 200% is nothing but 2 times of the number, 50% is nothing but half of the number. So like that we can calculate the percentage values of multiple of 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. Infinitely you can multiply of 10%. Right friends? The next concept is how to calculate the 5%. Okay friends, the next concept is 5%. So how to calculate the 5%, right? So always remember that 5% is nothing but 10% by 2, right? That means if you want to calculate 5%, first we have to calculate 10%, then divided by 2. Okay now friends, I will start with some examples. 5% of 24. So what is the 5% of 24 means? First we have to calculate the 10%. 10% of 24 is equal to 2.4. Half of this number is equal to how much will come? 1.2. Similarly, 5% of 440. So what is the 5% of 440? What is the 10% of 440? 44. 44 by 2 is equal to how much? 22. Similarly, 5% of 3.2. So what is the 5% of 3.2? First you have to calculate the 10%. 10% is equal to 0.32 divided by 2, which is equal to 0.16. Okay friends, so always 10% is nothing but 5% is nothing but 10% is divided by 2. And 10% is nothing but last decimal we have to eliminate, right? Now we will discuss some other values of 5%. So suppose if I want to calculate 15%, 15% of 320. So how to calculate 15% of 320? This 15% can be calculated 10% plus 5%. Okay now friends, 15% is nothing but 10% plus 5%. First you have to calculate the 10% of number. Already I told 10% of 320 is equal to how much? 32 plus 5% is nothing but half of the 10%. Half of the 10% is nothing but 16. So 32 plus 16 is equal to how much? 48. So 15% of certain number is nothing but 10% plus 5%. I will give one more example. 15% of 64. So how to calculate 15% of 64? So 15% can be written as 10% plus 5%. Okay friends, 10% is nothing but how much will come? 6.4. Half of the 6.4 is equal to 3.2, which is equal to 9.6. That is the 15%. Now similarly, if I want to 25%, so friends, 25% means we have the direct value in the percentage main concept. 25% is nothing but 1 by 4. We can divide it to 1 by 4. But here, according to our simplification in percentages, 25% can be written as 20% plus 5%. That is the 25%. Right? Example, 25% of 480. So how to calculate 25% of 480? First calculate the 10%, then 20%, then 5. Or directly 25% means 1 by 4 you can divide. But here we can apply this formula, 20% of 5%. What is the 10%? 10% is nothing but 48. 2 times of 48 is nothing but how much will come? 96. Plus 5%. 5% means 10% is equal to 48. Half of 48 is equal to how much? 24 is equal to how much will come? 120. Okay friends, that is at 25%. Similarly, if I want to calculate 35%, 35% means 30% plus 5%. Okay friends, for example, 35% of 300. What is the 35% of 300 means? First we have to calculate always 10%. 10% is equal to how much? 30. Now 35% means 3 times of 30. 3 times of 30 is equal to how much? 90. 5% means half of the 30. Half of the 30 is equal to how much? 15. Which is equal to how much will come? 105. So like that 35% you can calculate. But there are the two specific values. How to calculate 45% and 55%. Remember friends, always so how to calculate 45% means 45% is nothing but we can write 50% minus 5%. Clear friends? This is the logic. 45% is nothing but 50% minus 5%. Example, 45% of 340. So what is the 45% of 340 means? We can write first 50% minus 5%. What is the 50% of 340? Which is equal to 170 minus, no need to calculate the 5%. Here already 50% is equal to how much is there? 170. 50% is 170 means 5% is nothing but how much will come? Eliminate the 0. So which is equal to how much will come? 17 will come. So 170 minus 17 is equal to 153. Okay now friends, so always 45% is nothing but 50% minus 5%. Similarly, we can write 55%. 55% can be written as 50% plus 5%. This is 55%. Okay now friends, so 55% is nothing but 50% plus 5%. Example, we can say 55% of 640. So how to calculate 55% of 640 means first calculate 50%, then add the 5%. The 50% of 640 is equal to 320. Once 50% is a 320, no need to calculate the 5%. Here I am eliminating the 0 for 5%. Here also I should eliminate the 0 for 5. So 50% is 320. 5% is equal to how much will come? 32. Which is equal to how much will come? 352. Okay now friends, like that we can calculate 55%. Similarly, 65% means 60% plus 5%, or 50, 10, 5. Or 75% means 70% 5%, other 100 minus 25%. Okay, now friends. Similarly, if I calculate the 95%, 95% is nothing but you can write 100% minus 5%. Okay, friends. So, for example, 95% of 640. So, what is the 95% of 640 means? First calculate 100%. 100% is equal to how much? 640. Now I want to calculate 5%. 5% means 10% is equal to 64. Half of 64 is equal to 32, which is equal to 608. Okay, friends, if you are not good in percentages, so simplification will be very, very easy in data interpretation. Okay, most of the data interpretation questions based on the percentage values. Okay, so through these percentage values, so already I discussed how to calculate the 10% and multiple of the 10 percentages. Now I calculate the 5%. 5% is nothing but 10% divided by 2. Once you know the 5%, we can calculate the 15%. 10 plus 5. 25%, 20 plus 5. 35%, 30 plus 5. 45%, 50 minus 5%. 55%, 50 plus 5%. Okay, friends. Now the last one is how to calculate 1%. Right, friends, so how to calculate the 1%? 1% is nothing but 1% of 100. Always remember, 1% means last two places we have to eliminate. If the last two places are 0, we can eliminate. If the last two places are not 0, then take the decimal place after two places from the right hand side. Okay, so 1% of 100 is equal to 1. 1% of 200 is equal to 2. 1% of 3000. So I am taking the two places. Two places, if you eliminate, how much will it come? 30. Now 1% of 480. Now we have to take two places. After two places, we have to take the decimal. That means 4.8. 1% of 5648. So we have to take the two places from the right hand side. So how much will it come? 56.48. Okay, no friends. 1% of 3. Always take the two places. Here already one place is there. We required one more place. So 0.03. Right? Suppose 1% of 0.4. Already one place is there, but 1% is nothing but two places we have to count. So already one place is there, we have to add two more places. That means 0.004. Okay, friends, this is the 1%. So once you got the 1%, we can calculate 2%, 3%, 4%, then 6%, 7%, 8%, and 9%. Clear? Suppose I want to calculate 2% of 45. So how to calculate the 2% of 45? 2% of 45 means 1% is equal to 0.5. So 2 times of 0.45, which is equal to how much will it come? 9 will come. Similarly, I want to calculate 3% of 120. So what is the 3% of 120? What is the 10%? 1% is 1% is equal to 1.2. 3 times of 1.2 is equal to how much will it come? 3.6. Okay, now friends. Similarly, I want to calculate 4% of 1500. So what is the 4% of 1500? Here 1% is nothing but two places you have to eliminate. 1% is equal to 15. We have to multiply it by 4 times of 15. 4 times of 15 is equal to how much will it come? 60, that is a 4%. Already you know the 5%. And how to calculate the 6%? Friends, 6% of 120, we can multiply directly 6 times of 1%. So 6 times of 1% means 6 times of 1.2, which is equal to how much will become? 7.2. So like that we can calculate the multiple of 1%. Now suppose I want to calculate some other values. Suppose I want to calculate 11% of 150. So how to calculate the 11% of 150? 11% means it can be written as 10% plus 1%. Okay, no friends? 11% is nothing but 10% plus 1%. What is the 10% of 150? 10% of 150 is equal to 15. And what is the 1% of 150? 1% of 150 is equal to 1.5, which is equal to how much will it come? 16.5. Okay, now friends. Similarly, I want to calculate 12% of 140. What is the 12% of 140? 12% can be written as 10% plus 2%. This is the 12%. So it's nothing but 10% plus 12% means 10% is equal to how much will it come? 14. And 2% I have to calculate. 2% how to calculate means 2 times of 1%. What is the 1% of 140? 1.4. So 2 times of 1.4 is equal to 2.8. So 14 plus 2.8 is equal to how much will it come? 16.8. Okay friends, similarly I want to calculate 21%. 21% of 420. 21% can be written as 20% plus 1%. Okay friends, so 20% means nothing but 20% 1% means 20% of 420 is equal to how much will it come? So 10% is equal to 420, 84. 1% of 420 is equal to 4.2 is equal to 88.2. Okay friends, like that we can calculate 23%, 33%, 44%, like that any number of times we can calculate, right? So there are some certain values are there, we can calculate very easily. So what are those certain values? These are the combination values. So what are the combination values? 9% can be calculated 10% minus 1%. Similarly, 11% can be calculated 10% plus 1%. 18% can be calculated 20% minus 2%. Similarly, 22% can be calculated 20% plus 2%. Similarly, 27% can be calculated 30% minus 3%. Similarly, 33% can be written as 30% plus 3%. 36% is nothing but 40% minus 4%. Similarly, 44% is nothing but 40% plus 4%. Similarly, 45% is nothing but 50% minus 5%. Okay, similarly 55% nothing but 50% plus 5%. That means no need to calculate the respective last digit values, just eliminate one place. For example, I want to calculate 36% of 150. What is the 36% means? First I will calculate 40% minus 4%. So 36% can be written as 40% minus 4%. What is the 40% of 150? 10% is equal to 15, 40% is equal to 60. Minus 4% means just eliminate the decimal, just I will write 6. 60 minus 6 is equal to how much will come? 54. Okay friends, so these are the percentage values. So already I told how to calculate the 10%, 5% and 1%. Okay, in next video class we will discuss how to calculate the problems based on the 10% and 20% and 5% and 11%. I will discuss within examples, right? Thank you.